everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Collection Comic of the Week. I'm pretty excited about this one. I had so much fun reading this in preparation for this episode. The book I have chosen for this week is Pinky and the Brain, number 11. I love this book. I read it so much. It's really coming apart because I read this book so much. As a kid, I love Pinky and the Brain. It's one of my favorite cartoons of all time. And I enjoyed this book. I thought it was funny. I thought, it's got two stories in it. And the first one I loved. The next one was good, but first one I thought was just awesome. I remember picking up this book at a local Walmart. I was in the conundrum of I wanted to get one comic book, but every superhero book did not have a conclusion. Batman, any of the Batman books, Robin, Superman, Spider-Man, X-Men, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, no conclusions. None of them had a conclusion, and the only one that did have a conclusion that was a superhero book was Spawn, but my mom didn't want me to read Spawn because he was demonic, so I was browsing around. They didn't have very many other books left, but they had Pinky and the Brain, and it had a conclusion. I would have been really sorely upset had Pinky and the Brain not had a conclusion as well. It's just a fun read, fun book. And yeah, well, let's check it out. Let's see, look at the cover there. Yeah, so it's coming apart really bad, like I said earlier. It's I read this one a lot as a kid. It was a really awesome and fun book. It's coming apart so bad I had to tape it up. So it's called Narftasia, as you can kind of get a little pot shot at Disney and Mickey Mouse, perhaps. But I know this book is readily available through various retailers, so I don't want to give away all the jokes, but it really does read quite a bit like a, like you can picture this being a legit episode of Pinky and the Brain. Like it's. The jokes, you can kind of, the art's really, well done, and it's very easy to follow like it is the cartoon, but pretty much what's happening now is, kind of go back here, Brain is actually taking a night off from the taking over the world. So, Pinky has got this book of spells, and he's going to attempt to take over the world. And you see kind of here he's having a conversation with himself as Brain. And decides he's gonna attempt this himself. And one of my favorite candy bars right there. Got some... Goes down the... just... Lots of stuff, that really does read like an episode. And he's going through versatile basketball jersey. I always wanted that as a kid because it's like having two jerseys in one. Only I wanted it with Michael Jordan or a football jersey that way. But yeah, Pinky getting into mischief. Messing up things in the past. There's a really got the horse head and the female body there. Coming back. And even in my attempt, as I said, to, because it's the only one that they had that wasn't to be continued, a superhero does make an appearance. There is a Batman cameo. And more stuff from Pinky. It's like I can picture all this happening. This is just got a good flow to it for a fun little book. And at the very end, it turns out that Brain's credit card was declined, and his dream mouse girlfriend rejected him, so Pinky, gets him to say his line. He's back to wanting world domination. Mad Magazine and Tang advertisement there. And the final Narf, very Sherlock Holmesian adventure from Pinky and the Brain here. That's not the world's biggest Sherlock Holmes fan. I do love Batman, but old or new, just never really got into Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, got some. Well, this one I feel like didn't really read quite as well as the last one. Is the like a legit episode of Pinky and the Brain, but still, it's funny. It had some moments. I laughed during a couple moments on this. Wrapping it up. Watch this space. I wish they still did this in comic books. Different things get kind of going on in comics, kind of giving a little synopsis so you would know what to pick up. You get to the end. Turns out Snowball the hamster was behind it the whole time. He's trying to take over the world for hamsters. And there we go. Snowball is thwarted, but Brain does not have world domination, and he's going to try and take over the world before Snowball. And that's Pinky and the Brain, issue 11. With the Fantasia parody, even like a little, like I mentioned, a little subtle jab or not so subtle jab at Walt Disney with Pinky and the Brain. I can hear the music. I can see Pinky doing all the stuff. That felt like I was just watching it on my TV. Not only when I read this as a child, but when I reread it again in preparation for the episode. Second story, not so much, but still, just a fun story. It was a fun book. It was a book that I really enjoyed, and it was something that, had not been for all the superhero books letting me down, maybe I wouldn't have picked this up. Unfortunately, this is pretty well the only Pinky and the Brain comic in my collection. While I love Pinky and the Brain, and I do like humor in my comics, if at that point in time, if there was a superhero book or an action book, a Marvel DC book, with a conclusion, I was picking that one up instead. But, I always kind of, if I knew I had my $3 burn a hole in my pocket when I went to Walmart at that time, and I saw that there was a new Looney Tunes or Pinky and the Brain or Goof Troop book, on the newsstand, then I knew I'd at least be able to get something. But more often than not, I was able to find a superhero book that would have a finish to it that I could pick up and not feel like I was gonna die from not knowing how it ended. But still, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have had this really, really awesome comic book that became one of my favorites as a kid, so much so that I had to tape it up. Do you also own that issue of Pinky and the Brain or any Pinky and the Brain comics? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share, subscribe for more content, not just from the world of comic books, from the world of pro wrestling, gaming, anime, and all things geek culture. Follow me on my social media pages, facebook.com/athleticgeek89, Twitter athletic_geek89, Instagram athleticgeek89, and if you would like to help this channel out financially, hit me up on Patreon. That's patreon.com/athleticgeek89. Other than that, I'm out. Y'all be cool.